Hello and welcome to Flowtricks. It is Ken. We are going to be working on this nice little isolated motion happening with two chucks. So grab both your chucks and follow along. Before we begin though, I just want to give a shout out to Dark Monk as well as Flow Toys. Dark Monk makes all of my training chucks, while Flow Toys makes all of my LED chucks. With that said, I do know it's been a little bit quieter on the home front. I'm currently in the process of interviewing and bringing on some new instructors to Flowtricks. Jason Jaded I'm calling him tonight. We are definitely going to work on getting him in there, and then we're going to get one more instructor. I'm still working on it. So please be patient as we get through this. With that said though, let's continue. Let's just get this going here. So what we're looking at here is we have two nunchucks and they are going in the same direction, meaning if they're either going clockwise or they're both going counterclockwise. Either way, they're going in the same direction. But we want to change the timing, so you'll notice, again, you have same time and split time. Same time, they're kind of occupying the same space, so they're always, when one's up, the other's up. What we want to do is just kind of see if we can get the chucks to meet in the chest, like this. So if you look at it, if you looked at my chest and you look straight out, the chucks would intersect right there. Boom. This is split time. And the easiest way to make this happen, if you're not sure how to do this, if you're spinning the chucks and one's up and one's down, if you rotate them in opposite directions like this will cause them to meet in the center. So they're basically spinning in different parts of space as opposed to them both being in the same space like this. So what we're trying to do is make this connect in the center like so. Now this motion, what it really requires is a little bit more finesse. It's not as fast as the other moves, but I think that this is really good because you can include this with fast moves and it looks really nice. Basically, there's two different things that are happening here. The first is that both of them are kind of just following out as an isolation. So it's almost like a stall, but we don't stall fully. So if you know the down stall and the up stall, it definitely helps. For me, my right hand, if we're going counterclockwise like this, my right hand's doing a down stall while my left hand's doing an up stall simultaneously. What happens is as this is rotating, the moment it starts to fly out towards about 6 o'clock or so, my hand is going to chase this, almost making this look kind of like a dolphin jumping out of the ground, or jumping out of the water. So you're really going to try to widen out your arm and follow the nunchuck over, and then the moment it starts to go down, you go down with it. So here, drop, like that. Now that in itself can look nice. If you're even doing singles, this is kind of a nice thing to do because what you can do is, like, you're doing all these fast motions and then all of a sudden you just kind of bring it in there and it creates like this really nice swooping pattern that you can do to kind of slow things down. The way that I did that was as it started to, so basically you're doing this big dive and I'm making my hand, most of the time you're just dragging the nunchuck around, so it's making fast circles. But as we follow it, it slows things down a little bit. And the moment it stops, I just stop it just for a moment and then I lift it up and then I pull it around, so I'm also going in another circle. You notice how my arm is, so it's not just going like this, right? Because this is what would happen if we're not tracing a bigger circle around our arms. What we're doing is we're really letting it fall through. So it's like diving up and diving down, and then once we get here, it goes back up, and we're just kind of, again, we're creating bigger circles with our whole arm as opposed to just like using our wrist to make it. And the end result will look like this. So what you can see is as we go fast, it just has like this nice little pause that happens. Now the left hand is the exact opposite. A little bit trickier though, because what we're going to do here, if we're going the same direction again, like so, this one is going to start from the outside of my body here, which is 9 o'clock for me, and we're going to dive down and up. So it's going to be like a little up stall right there, whoosh. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier, and we can't get a perfect, it's really hard to do a good up stall. Like, it's usually easier to have your arms swing out, really, like, the more length you have, the easier it is to up stall. But we're just trying to get just a big enough swoop to get it to face upwards. And it'll be the same thing. Basically, we're swooping in towards the center, trying to get this to up stall, and then the moment it pauses for a second, we're gonna pull to the outside and ring it around in a circle. So my hand is generally gonna look like this, whoosh, and then it's going to dive down. So it looks like there's almost two circles, as you can see. And this one's going to do the exact same thing. So it's going to be like whoosh, whoosh. Do you see how they both make circles? This will be up and then back up into the circle. And this will be down and then down into a circle. And together, they're both kind of dipping together and then they're kind of crossing. And then my arms are going to open up just enough to get them to cross through. So this one will be up and over, up and over. And then together is where the magic happens. Now I usually have, it doesn't matter which hand's in front or which hand's in back. I can either put my right hand in front or I can put my right hand in back, whichever is more comfortable to you. But they're gonna move together at the same time and they're gonna try to occupy the same space. So the next thing you wanna do is just see if you can get that first dip on both sides like this. You can try different left hand or right hand up front, it doesn't matter. The moment you feel that, it really won't have that good of an effect if you just stop it there, of course. The big effect is the moment it stalls and you start to feel it to drop, then you're gonna twist your arms, you're gonna give it that little added circle and you're gonna open it back up. And that's what's gonna give the magic. So here. Now where do you pull your arms will also depend on the kind of effect you can create. So if we just pull it to the outside like this, you'll see what happens is it creates like this wide gap that kind of closes and then reopens like this. So like you can actually play with the different places that you put it. You can also go up and down. So we can go here and bring it up and down like so. And it's really just about the moment you get them together and you feel that pause, do you bring it out here? Do you bring it out here? Do you bring it up here? It really doesn't matter. It's just gonna create a different effect. And you can play with this as a combo. So you can be like wide, up, up. So like play with this. And you might even be able to come across like this. That's a little bit more tricky, but basically it's the same thing. You're just basically stalling, and then the moment you do the stall, you just push your arms completely sideways. But if you practice all that, then you have a plus sign you can do. So right arm top, right arm bottom, right arm right, right arm left. And again, you're doing your moves. It really, to me, I like slowing it down when I do it, so it really accentuates it, especially the first time. And that's a really good doubles move. One more, let's go ahead and teach one more just because it's been a little while. The next one I want to teach is kind of like, God, what do they call this? I forgot. This is a buzzsaw, but we are on the, I'm horrible with names, y'all, okay? I feel it out. Let's just go ahead and describe what is actually happening here so you can see. So this is like, a buzzsaw is this, where your hands are together and it's creating like this wheel-like pattern, right? But we're gonna kind of add it to create an anti-spin. And the way that we do this is we create 4 points. So it's a 4-point anti-spin. And what you'll see is, the first one, we're gonna start here, and again, this is going counterclockwise. My left hand is pointed, is in the back, my right hand's in the front, and we're just gonna try to get this type of timing down first. Make sure you can do a buzzsaw with your hands extended, okay? Again, just like crank position or whatever, you're gonna notice to get a really nice one, they're gonna be in opposite positions. So if I were to slow this down, when this is at 12 o'clock, this is at 6 o'clock. So position 1, left hand up, right hand meets it, and then try to get that timing down. Position 2 is going to be, we're gonna pull it over to this side, and what you'll notice is my right hand pulls back while my left hand pulls front. So my left hand's in the back and my right hand's in the front, and as I move it over to here, we've changed positions. So you can even just practice this back and forth if you want. You'll notice I never stop the spin this whole time. Do you see? So start slow, don't go too fast, and just see if you can just transition back and forth between both of these. You'll also notice that if you look over, my arm is kind of bent like this, right? This is helpful because you have a chuck spinning to the inside of your arm. So if your hand is straight, you might hit your arm. What I'm trying to say is, if your hand is too straight, you'll hit yourself on the side. So it's almost kind of got like this hug, like you have huggy arms, and that definitely helps. So it's over here, what you'll notice is, again, my arm over here is just dropped, but it has this nice bend so the chuck can miss hitting my arm. So we'll go back, 1, pull it over, 2, and then 3 is just pulling it down towards the hip. It's kind of the same thing, right? So between 2 to 3, it's the same. There's not much that's different. Let me pull this down, see if I can pull this down a little bit more. So between 2 to 3, you're not changing a whole lot. No, that did not help at all. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now 4, obviously, there is one thing to note, which is, and when you go down to your hips, it's easier to hit your arm, so really hollow out that arm. And then the other one is that it's gonna be a little bit closer to the body. 4 is you're gonna be where you make your switch off again. So You will have to kind of practice getting your plane straight on all 4 of these. For me, I find it easier just to do it on all one motion. And 4 will be, again, when my right hand, when this side is about 6 o'clock or so, then I'm going to shift it back to here, to this direction. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to shift it here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And really try to get nice rotations with it too. The closer your hands are, the better it looks as well. But you generally will have to create some space with your hands, otherwise your nunchuck will hit that arm. So there's going to have to be some sagittals, some forward and back space. All at once it looks like this. Pretty nice, right? And the nice thing is you can easily go in and out of the other motion too. This is always set up, so as I'm doing this motion, once you get the hang of it, you can just kind of, as soon as, let's say after 4, you can kind of open your arms up to get that nice stall to get back into there, and then we can go right back into it. Whoosh. Oops, let's try this again. Whoosh, whoosh. So it's all about just practicing and practice. But those are 2 moves that I really enjoy doing. They are a little bit stolen off boy, but I think they look good with nunchucks as well. So hope you find this helpful. And hey, I hope you guys have been training and enjoying this weather. Like I said, we're gonna get some more instructors coming in and all kinds of good stuff in the future. But till then, stay tuned and happy spinning.